The monkey teacher is running a new kind of school in Munich. With the beginning of the new school year, pupils would be advised not to make fun of those who are aping them, with the excuse that they are in fact real monkeys.
How we love to laugh at animals behaving like us. A classroom full of chimpanzees appears so incongruous, a contradiction in terms. But would we laugh so much if we discovered that animals really are quite cultivated and that the chimps get the last laugh? For centuries, culture was the last barrier that separated man from animals. To be cultured meant to be human. But over the past 50 years, researchers observing a group of macaques in Japan shattered this notion. Every winter, the hot springs in the mountains around Nagano in central Japan attract some unlikely visitors. Here, the forest of Jikokudani literally means Hell's Valley, but it's the closest thing to heaven for these Japanese macaques. The artificial pools are extremely popular with other local species. The snow monkeys took their first dip in these artificial pools in the 1950s, and it changed their way of life forever. Several times a day, they relax, play, and groom themselves in the hot volcanic waters. Heat from the springs protects the monkeys from the cold and helps dry their coats quickly. Only Japanese and a group of Indonesian macaques behave this way. It's not genetically inherited behavior, but something they learned during the course of their lives. For Frans de Waal, one of the world's leading primatologists, this is a defining cultural moment for both animal and man.
We speak of culture when groups of animals in similar environments of the same species behave differently. And they behave differently as a result of social learning, of learning from each other.
If animals can now be said to be cultivated, they owe their hard-earned culture to Japanese macaques. The first human observations of animal culture took place around the same time, not in Nagano, but on the tiny island of Koshima, off the southeastern coast of Japan. A group of researchers placed sweet potatoes in the sand, and soon macaques began washing them in the sea before eating them. A young female called Emo started the whole thing. Others in her group soon followed. So the monkeys obviously preferred clean potatoes with a pinch of salt to sandy ones. But as Frans de Waal explains, their behavior set in motion the whole concept of animal culture in primatology.
And I think it's very interesting that the idea came from Japan and not from the West, because in the West we have a habit of putting a big wall between humans and animals, and culture became part of that wall. The anthropologists would say culture is what makes us human, meaning that obviously then animals cannot have culture. And in the East, the borderline between human and animal is not as clear.